I wanted to make a video about negative stress. Negative stress is when we do things without joy. It's possible to do a lot of things and to be very engaged and to continue doing and creating when you're having fun. So what I have experienced in my life is that from coming from a subconscious conviction, questioning myself as to being good enough or being worthy or good at all, very few activities become fun because I've been forcing myself and dragging myself along to participate in life. Not so much in activities, but in life in general. Because I was deviating from myself. It is like all type of negative stress is a deviation from our natural path that we have inside of ourselves. Our destiny, our purpose, what feels good, what is our passion, what is the path for us in life. And I feel like socialization and schooling and all of these things just are so narrow-minded. They are so, the options are just too slim as to be something that is suitable for everybody. There should be a more creative way to actually allow for people to create themselves, I think. But as you've been socialized and treated to question yourself a lot, then you will naturally deviate from within. So what are you deviating from? Well, it's your intuition. It is your compass needle that's always on point in relation to your destiny and your purpose and your path. And as we go against that, we go against our nature. And the needle is always there, but we are like tilting to adjust, to conform into fitting a model of outside expectations. And that's hurtful because we are actually not loyal to ourselves. Our intuition and our compass needle and our path is in alignment with our love, our heart, our soul intention, everything that we have as a destiny, as a human being. And the more you deviate from that, the more disloyal you are to love, and the more it hurts, and the more crazy things you do as to make that work. But it's not working because it's not fun. because it doesn't give you enjoyment, because you're not staying true, because you're not at the core feeling good about who you are. I feel that a human being who is secure and comfortable in themselves, as to not question themselves and feel like they are good enough and actually love and appreciate themselves naturally, don't question it so much, they will just go down their path more effortlessly. Then it doesn't become such a challenge in life. There are challenges. There are levels of development, but those are just so far ahead from the actual core of feeling good and appreciating yourself. So that becomes like, if I use myself like an example, if I do grown-up things or have done as a 30-year-old or as a 33-year-old or as somebody who has kids, responsibilities, it becomes like those responsibilities are being put on the child inside me who has not yet developed because of trauma. So to be perfectly honest and frank about that, it is that I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. I was never ready to move out of my home. I was never ready to get a job and handle bills. I was never ready to be in a romantic relationship with anybody. And I was certainly not ready to have kids, because I was suffering so much from the trauma that made me deviate from being secure and in alignment with my natural expression and path, my intuition, my heart inside myself. So it's no wonder that all of these things have gone to shit. Really. The destiny of all of these things, like the more responsible parts of life, will naturally fall apart, as I was never ready. I was an unstable structure to begin with. But how am I supposed to rebuild that, to adjust that, to get in alignment, to actually become secure within myself, in relation to my intuition and my path and my love and all of what is naturally, authentically expression myself? When I'm just getting loaded and loaded with, you gotta finish this math test, and you gotta do this, and you gotta fit in, and you gotta do all of these, there is just no rest. Because nobody is really aware of this simple presentation of how life goes to hell. And I've previously been there for 2 years, and it's not fun. And my life has never been fun. It has had its moments when I have laughed because of humor, but I have lived with anxiety and suicidal thoughts all of my life. And I'm turning 42 now. because I have had a deviation from my moral compass and intuition and path inside of myself that all of us have, which has caused a lot of stress, which has caused a lot of pressure, which has caused a lot of reactions that have sabotaged relationships outside of myself, which is mainly just to sabotage my own relationship with myself, because I've been the biggest bully in the world towards myself, as I'm not getting back on my path, as I'm not surrendering to God, because that's what it is. There is a way, there is a path for everybody, which is not so extremely demanding. It is more loving, more compassionate, more understanding, more rewarding, more giving, and all of that in joy and happiness. But we are so stuck on control. It is control from caretakers that put somebody in a box, trying to make them feel good about themselves as to in performance and achievement to fit a function in society, because that's very important, because soon you're going to be a worker. But just ignoring how that person actually feels, it is terrible. It is just stress. It is just negative stress, pressure, and shit. So I can sit here as a 41-year-old guy and say that I have tried to have a facade. I have tried to be somebody. I have tried to do all the things that are expected of me as I come to certain ages. And all of it has gone to complete shit because I wasn't ready. Because I wasn't taught about anything of this. I wasn't taught about life, and nobody could really teach me because nobody had a goddamn clue about it themselves. They just follow this model of school and work and die, and school and work and die, and school and work and die. Kids in the middle, and just, it's terrible how we are actually doing this without coming in alignment spiritually and surrendering to God. To be humble before God, without religion. Love, God is love, love is God. And what is actually happening in this deviation from our path is actually disloyalty to love. In the game of love, which life is. And that will naturally cause a lot of stress. The more deviation, the more stress, the more pressure, the more discomfort and pain and broken relationships and everything becoming shit. That's stress. We should really learn how to take care of ourselves, not with moisturizers, not with eating baby spinach, not in taking bike rides, not in spending time in the sun outside to get some vitamin D. It is actually from the inside out. Life is from the inside out. And when we take care of that, everything else will just be natural. Life is natural, it's flowing natural, it's functioning natural. Everything heals, everything rejuvenates, opportunities come, connections happen, joy, creations, collaborations, everything is just meant to work more effortlessly as we are connected, as we stay connected and loyal and grateful and humble to love, to God, to Source. Then we are living in a less negatively stressful environment, as we are having a more loving environment inside ourselves, and that becomes projected outside of us. Subconscious manuscript, eyes, perception, projection, reflection, actor, movie, playing an authentic role, or some kind of, I think they want to see this, I think I should be this, to be somebody. It's like the documentary from Ram Dass, Becoming Nobody. It is so good. Just becoming nobody, which is actually just being. And then you become somebody, but you become somebody as an authentic, loving, secure expression of who you are, which actually is not somebody, it's just some body, some role. You're actually just being you. And if you reach success in being you, which you will, isn't that great? Isn't that great to sit there and not have to act? Wouldn't that be great to reach success as the most authentic expression of your own truth, and just be that success? So if you're on stage, for instance, you will be yourself, and when you get off stage, you're the same person. And when you're home alone and you're reading a book and eating some candy and having a cup of tea, and then you go to sleep, you're being yourself. It's just the same all the way, just being you, feeling secure, not deviating so much, not questioning yourself, and just being true. I wish I had that growing up, because everything that was given to me by God would not have been lost. I wouldn't have become Job to lose it all and realize how important it is to be grateful and feel worthy for the life you've been given, which is way easier if you're on your path and trusting your path, intuitively connected to God, to Source, to truth, because that's never any waver, that's no deviation, which calls for a life that is less stressful and a lot more joy, to just meet people and do things and create stuff and collaborate and just a fun life. A purpose of life, actually more like a demand, is to enjoy yourself. It is your duty to enjoy your life, to enjoy yourself. And that is all about the inside out. To enjoy yourself from the outside in means that you can feel like complete shit, and then you buy yourself the most expensive car or something that makes you feel good for 5 minutes or a week or a month, or however that piece of pleasure is lingering. But that's not truth, that's not love, that's a major deviation from your path. You want to stay true to you, then you can have a car like that, it's fine. But it's not stating your own well-being and enjoyment of life coming from your heart and your intuition and your loyalty to your own love from within, that you project out and reflect back and actually are in tune with and are humble in relation to, and actually feel grateful without all the stuff, without anything. I don't know what else to say now, but I think it was a great video nonetheless. I need to talk and I need to express myself. So I really don't care if anybody watches these videos. I'm talking to myself. I'm informing myself. I'm acknowledging myself. I know what I'm talking about as I listen to my heart and I listen to my intuition, and then I communicate that to myself as to feed my subconscious through a video to actually change and actually receive the life that is meant for me. So it's more like that. And if somebody watches the video and thinks that, well, this inspired me and I understand a bit more about myself, then great, that's great. But we should do everything we can as to understand ourselves, and which is to come to the realization of effortlessly loving and appreciating ourselves and feeling grateful and humble for having a life, for living a life, because it's a one-time deal. If you have a reincarnation and you pop up on the face of the earth again, it's a one-time deal then as well. Because you as an identity and the expression that you are this time is not going to be around that time. So it really is a one-time deal. And I think that we should really try and cherish that a lot more. And not just take that for granted. I love you. I love myself. Bye.